welcome back. So this is the grand final of the F2 grade in the 2017-18 season between Diamond Creek 1 and the North Eltham Wanderers here at the Coventry Oval in Diamond Creek. And you are watching Channel 8, the local sports network, with our partners Bizz 99.9 FM. And I am your host and lead commentator, and I'm also the managing producer of sports production at Channel 8. I am Chukka Wilson. Now, unfortunately, my co-commentator is not here. You'll notice that Damien, Hayden, Haydos has not made an appearance today in this grand final, and that's because he is interstate on other duties, in doing a very important work, but he was able to follow this game by listening to it on Bizz 99.9 FM, and he also was able to study the scorecard of what happened day one yesterday, and actually analyse the detail of what exactly happened. And from that, he was able to make a reasonable assessment of what happened yesterday. So I took the liberty of interviewing him earlier on today, this morning, and I asked him about what he thought of the match situation. So here is my interview with Damien Haydos via teleconference. So you'll hear my voice here live at the ground, and then you will hear Damien Haydos through the telephone. Here is that interview. Well, Damien, Hayden, Haydos, welcome to the Channel 8 broadcast of the F2 Grand Final between Diamond Creek 1 and North Eltham Wanderers.
G'day Chukka, how's it going?
At the start of play yesterday, Diamond Creek won the toss and elected to bat. What did you think of that? Did you think that they made the right call?
Well, from Diamond Creek's point of view, with them winning the toss, it definitely seems like the right decision. When it comes to a grand final, probably the easiest way to control the game is getting runs on the board and being able to control the game in the field there. When you're chasing into a little bit more difficult in finals, you get that pressure there, whether it's over a moderate score or even a high score there to work your way through it there. So I think Diamond Creek did make the right decision. At the same time, I don't think North Eltham would have minded bowling first at the start of the game, considering that's their strength. It's the best way to get themselves into the game there, being the underdogs there. So both sides wouldn't have been unhappy with Diamond Creek batting first.
Were you at all surprised about the team selections of both Diamond Creek and the North Eltham Wanderers?
Yeah, no surprise at the selection table for me there. Diamond Creek going with the same 11 at Transmill Park there last week, and North Eltham showing face to decide to beat Lower Plenty, so no surprises from me.
What did you make of Diamond Creek's batting innings yesterday?
Yeah, they were well in control of what they were doing there. They made sure that each of their key contributors there put their head down and made sure they actually played a big part in that score. When you look at guys like Rutt, Gold and Milner, probably their three best batsmen, all making over 20 there, definitely helped set you up for a big total. Obviously, we're still doing some damage there in the low order, helping to nudge it up towards the 196 that they got, as opposed to, say, a 170 that they otherwise would have gotten. So all around, a good, even performance across the board there, where everyone playing their part. Aside from a couple, I would have thought Watson would be a little bit disappointed. And probably as well Merritt there. He's one that was a little bit under pressure for his spot in the side, would have liked to have justified it. But overall, it was good batting from them.
And what did you think of the bowling strategies and tactics and play coming from the North Eltham Wanderers? Did you think they did a good bowling job yesterday?
Yeah, it was interesting from them. They seem to be sticking a lot with the guys like Reed and Mortar there. Mortar obviously did a lot of damage there in the semi-final there, and so they're always going to have faith in him there with his 13 overs there, and Reed bowling 20 there. That's half their overs, and so if they're bowling well, you can almost set up the game through the other half as well there. Unfortunately, though, the pressure wasn't really on the other half. I thought Corbin was a little bit disappointing. 8 overs for 30, considering he was a new ball bowler. O'Callaghan's done a lot better than what he did as well, none for 21, so there are a few guys who would have been a little bit more disappointed, and that's the reason why Diamond Creek got that extra 20 or 30 runs. So half of it was really good from North Eltham, but I thought at times they were a little bit sloppy.
Okay, so I'd like to get your thoughts on what you're expecting to see happen today. So first of all, what do you think Diamond Creek will do with the ball? What will their mindset and tactics, and what will their attitude be towards bowling today?
For Diamond Creek, it's just about keeping it simple. At the end of the day, they've got themselves in front of the game there. They've got North Eltham Wanderers side who hasn't actually lit the world on fire with their batting. And so all they do is keep it simple. Stick to their 4 key seamers there to begin with there. Obviously then towards the end of the day, if they need to, they can go to Merritt, they can go to Watson and these types there to get through some overs there. But I think overall, considering how well we've got Farron Price, Poon, Sewell and Island bowling there, there's no need to make it too much different there. They've actually done a fantastic job all year. They'll just keep it pretty simple, I would say.
And what do you think North Eltham Wanderers will do with their batting innings for today?
Look, overall, they've just got to go for it at the end of the day. They've got nothing to lose as it is being a grand final there, and this is probably a little bit out of their average in terms of what they've done all the season, especially on a ground like Coventry Oval. So they've just got to go for it. Guys like Abertangelo and Banks have got the capabilities of making a big score. They've just got to go for it. They can't afford to be too much in their shells, can't afford that required run rate there to get up to 5, 6 and over there. Otherwise it's going to be too difficult with these key seamers there for Diamond Creek. So they've got to keep themselves in check, keep themselves up with the run rate there, and make sure they actually have belief that they're actually going to get these runs.
Damien, Hayden, Haydos, thank you very much for taking this time to speak with us over the telephone.
No worries, Chukka.
That was Damien Hayden Haydos speaking to us through the telephone because he is currently interstate, and we thank him very much for taking the time to have this phone call.
Shut up and sit down. Shut up and sit down.
of weather here at Diamond Creek over the course of this morning. Now, to put it into context, we have to remember what happened yesterday, because it was in the low 30s yesterday. It was quite, it was very hot, very sunny conditions out there, and it was, it was quite, sweaty stuff when you were out there running around. Certainly it wasn't such a horrendous heat that you would have been overwhelmed with the burden of it, but in terms of just going out and doing things, it was a very bad heat. It was a very tough time, and I still think that it was a great day for cricket, because it was not too hot. It was a good temperature, low 30s. Low 30s is good, and there was this gentle breeze that came across the ground going from the northwest down to the southeast. And then through the night time of Saturday evening, Saturday night, it remained in the 20s. So it was a very warm night last night, and it stayed that way at bedtime. So it would have been in the 20s, at the mid-20s, when everyone went to bed. And the cool change came about sometime around in the very early morning, 4 or 5 o'clock, and that's when the temperature has plummeted into the teens, and that's what it's been ever since. So it would have been 25 degrees at 2 o'clock in the morning, and then by 6 o'clock it would have been, in the mid-teens. And it's been remained that in the mid-teens throughout the course of the day so far, and we are not far away from the beginning of play. We are currently 9 minutes away from 1 o'clock, so it's still very cool. It's the sort of weather that's the sort of coolness where you think, could I put a jumper on or not? It's neither too cold that you have to put on a jumper, and it's not too hot that you really shouldn't put on a jumper. It's that sort of mid-range where people go either way depending on how they feel. That's the sort of temperature that we're looking at right now. Now, as far as the sky is concerned, this morning at 11 o'clock, 10:30, it was completely overcast, the sky. There was nothing but grey clouds, and they were very dark grey, like very, very nasty looking clouds. And they were hanging around for quite a long time, and then at about 11:15 there was rain for about 15 minutes. It was short, but it was quite fierce, and it made everything a little bit damp, made the pitch a bit damp. People had to put on umbrellas for that short period of time, but then the rain disappeared by about 11:35, 11:40, sometime around that time. And then since then, there hasn't been any sign of rain since. And the blue skies have made some sort of a comeback. I mean, they're not a huge presence in the sky right now. The sky is mostly grey, mostly overcast, and there are these rain clouds hanging about nearby, but they're not in a position to actually confront us. I mean, there's one off to the east, there's one off to the west. They are looking very confronting, but not looking particularly friendly, but they're not anything that we have to deal with right now. And there come the Diamond Creek players. So we've got blue sky, some blue skies, large patches of blue, and also the sun is starting to come out. So we've got a very nice situation for some, it should be very a nice weather. The weather is a bit of a breeze that's coming across the ground. It's not something that's has to be. It's not worrisome, but it is there, and it is something you have to deal with. So the Diamond Creek players are walking out to the middle.
First ball of day 2.
And that's it. Well, what a start. Excellent bowling by T. Gilmore. Bowling it short at Thompson, and he was able to get the bat on it. Thick shoulder of the bat. He is caught by Jackson Bellingham. First ball of the day off Ty Gilmore. The score is 1 for 5, Diamond Creek. And that's the end of that. Well, that is the end of Looper. Looper has been caught by Buckland, bowled Bellingham for 17. End of that. Well, that is the end of Looper. Looper has been caught by Buckland, bowled Bellingham for 17. It's now 3 down for 77, and that pressure that started off by getting the first wicket has gotten the second. They are now 3 down.
And here come the umpires. So, with everyone getting into position, everything is starting to all come together now. We're just waiting for the 2 batsmen of the North Eltham Wanderers, and then we can start play. Here they go. Out come the North Eltham Wanderers batsmen and also the rest of the North Eltham dugout, who will take up position, no doubt, in the marquee area. Quite a lot. So the two opening batsmen are Corder and Corbin. And we'll just get confirmation of which one is which. Alright, gonna start play. Legging off spin bowler, Justen B, taking 6 wickets for 100 runs, an average of 16.66. And that's the wicket! I said Bellingham is the one that's gonna come Bellingham again. Well, looks to cut away again, but not quite there. But over 19. That is gone. That's a huge wicket. Bellingham is the. Bowling by Bellingham. Can he get a maiden? And he's gone! That is a big overhand. Do it with the ball. Oh!
You've got on the ball with a number of dots on it. And
it's a wicket. That's a huge wicket. The ball huge here. Yes, a single. This is the guy. If this is a single, then the game is won.
Semi-short here. Oh, he gets the stumping. He's got the stumping.
He's got the stumping even though the ball's on the ground. So that is the game probably. Bellingham has just picked up his 5th wicket. Oh